What's up, YouTube? The video you're about to watch is a 30-minute presentation I did for one of the business classes at the high school. So I talked to all of them all day, and this is just one segment of it. So I hope you enjoy. Maybe leave some feedback if you took anything out of it. If not, hope you enjoy the video. Which was a clothing business. I'm sure some of you guys have heard of it. We'll talk about how that sucked. Then we'll go to my new business that I'm doing now, which is this thing right here. So we'll go with that, and then I'll talk about kind of why I started the second business. Then we'll talk about what I learned, some social media passion, and all the good stuff, and then I'll tell you about my event at the end. So just a little intro on me. My name is Easton Bennett. I grew up in Minot, North Dakota, and I grew up playing hockey and baseball, and I wasn't super into video and photo stuff. I thought it was lame at first, and so I'm into that now. But I grew up in Minot playing hockey and baseball. I stuck with hockey and went to Canada to play junior hockey for the Steinbach Pistons, so that's where I've been for the past 2 years. So I just moved back here, what was it, a month ago? So I have 3 younger sisters, one being there, unfortunately, and 2 younger sisters. I don't know how old they're, 12 or maybe 13 and 9. So 2 younger sisters, a dog, 2 parents, and yeah, so I've been in Canada for the past 2 years playing hockey. That's kind of a little bit about me, but if you guys have questions later, we can answer them. Let's talk about the first business I started now, which was a hockey clothing company. So this hat, you can tell, PHC, stands for Plug Hockey Co. I started it when I was in Berg's class my senior year, so you guys did the business plan. Is this advanced Berg, or is this, oh, this is marketing. Okay, so you guys didn't do a business plan. What do you guys talk about in this class?
Nothing.
Marketing?
We don't do anything. Okay. He just gives us notes and we have to talk.
We do simulations.
You don't do, sounds a lot like when I was here, Berg. Haven't changed a bit. So yeah, so I was in entrepreneurship, and we had to write a business plan. So I started one on Plug Hockey Co., which is a clothing company, and that went good for a couple years, and then I closed it down. I went into it thinking I was going to make a lot of money, but if you guys, I don't know if any of you started a business or thought about it, but don't go in it for the money, because I went in and I was like, oh, I'm going to be rich, I'm going to have my own business, it's going to be awesome, and like, you don't make as much money as you think you're going to make. So I closed that. It wasn't doing bad or anything, I just I didn't really want to do it anymore. So once I closed it, it's ironic because everyone after that was like, oh, I want to buy some stuff, blah, blah, blah. Like right after I closed it, so I'm like, well, you guys suck. But the way I started it was I was sitting around a fire with my dad, and he had this clothing idea. You guys know what sauce hockey is? Okay, so he thought he could do the same thing, but like make better sayings. So I was like, oh, I'll do it. So the next day I filled the paperwork with my uncle, who's a financial advisor and all that good stuff, and I filled out all the paperwork, got registered with the state, and I started it as a DBA, which I guess you guys don't talk about it in this class, but that's a doing business as. So that's like, it's a sole proprietorship, but you can work under a different name. So technically my business was Easton Bennett, but I was doing business as Plug Hockey Co., right? So I did that, and with a sole proprietorship, it's kind of hard, because if, say, the example I used for last class, if someone bought a shirt from me and they put it on and the shirt started on fire and killed them or burned them severely, that would never happen. My products are great, we're great. If that happened, they could sue me, they could sue my company, take whatever the company's got, and then they could also sue me. So they could take my car, my house, blah, 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 my sisters, hopefully, and they can take everything I have. So when I went into my second business, I decided that a DBA was not the way to go. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but yeah, so I started the clothing company, went well, made some money from it, kind of got my name out there. I wasn't passionate about it because I was selling $20 t-shirts, and I don't know if you guys know me very well, but the only thing I wear is $5 white Walmart t-shirts, as you can see. So it's kind of like I was selling a product that I didn't believe in. So I decided that I'm going to close the company down, not work on it, because it was almost like it was more of a hassle to post every single day. I'd wake up and be like, got to post on Instagram today because blah, blah, blah. It's just what you got to do. And I hated doing it. So after a while, I closed it down. Some people offered to buy it from me, and I was like, you guys are dumb. And my dad wanted to run it, and I was like, no, just whatever. So I closed it. Then I kind of took a little bit of a break. Last summer, I took my parents' camera, which is just some crappy one from like 10 years ago, and I decided that I was going to make a YouTube show or a channel that was a show where I'd sit down with someone and it'd almost be like Jimmy Fallon, right? It didn't go as planned. It was just me and my teammates. One of the episodes was, well, I probably can't say this in class. Bird, close your ears. It was name that animal. You can fill in the rest. Yeah. So that's the kind of games we were playing on that show, which looking back now is hilarious. But so I realized the whole YouTube thing wasn't going to work if I was trying to be like Jimmy Fallon. So I stopped that, and then my uncle, who helped me start the clothing company, he has a financial business, so I asked him if I could make a free video for him. I'd show you guys the video later, but I don't have it because it was so bad. I think I deleted it. So at the time, I was pissed that he didn't pay me, and I was like, well, what the heck? I did all this work for you, and you didn't pay me. And turns out the video was just, it was so bad, so trash. I kind of wish I had it to show you guys, but so I was like, at the time I was mad, you didn't pay me, blah, 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 but now I'm like, I understand why. So that was kind of how Bennett Creative Media got started. It was unofficially started. I kind of created an Instagram and a Facebook, and it wasn't really legit. I didn't have any paperwork filled out, but I did that and just kind of tried to gain some traction. And then I was moving back up to Canada, so I couldn't really, you're not allowed to work up there. I'm sure you don't tell on me, but you're not allowed to work up there because you have to have some work visa or something like that, and I didn't want to get one. So I just went up there, did some jobs for some cash, and really tried to work on my videography skills and my business skills, I guess, with talking to clients and networking with people. So I did that, did some videos that you guys will see later, and I really took that time to just make myself better at what I was doing. I wasn't focusing on trying to make money or any of that, because if you guys know junior hockey at all, you literally just play hockey and then play Fortnite. So I had some time to do some other stuff, so I decided I was going to do some video stuff, and I did some work with some clients, which was awesome. Some of them were just cash, some of them are free. And then once I moved back to Minot, which was about a month ago, I actually filled out the correct paperwork, and this time I went with an LLC. So an LLC is limited liability company. That means if, say, I'm on set shooting something and a light tips over and, it hits a child and the child dies. I keep using death as an example. Say a kid gets hurt or dies and the family wants to sue me, they can only take me for what the company has. So say the company's worth 78 cents, then sorry, take the company's money, but you can't come after me, my house, my family, whatever. So that's why I went that direction. It does cost a little bit more to do that. I think a DBA was $25. An LLC is $135, maybe a little bit more with some fees. So you do that, and then that's kind of why I started that as an LLC. But so that's the business I'm running now. That's kind of the two business I started, but I kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit about failure and how you can take a negative outcome and put that into a positive outlook. So when I quit PHC, I could have just hung them up and said, whatever, I'm done with this, I'm going to move on and not do any more business type of things. But I used what I learned from PHC to kind of excel me into the next business, right? So when you're just starting your own business, you have to know accounting, marketing, sales, advertising, all this stuff. You have to do it by yourself, right? So at that time, I didn't know. I thought it'd be super easy when I was starting, but I realized that I kind of had to have all my eggs in one basket when I was starting my second one, because the first one was just all over the place. So that's just one example of how I used my first failure to kind of propel me to my next one. So I think in life and in business, it's really important to not stop, but just know that things are going to take time and that there's no such thing as an overnight success. So if I would have just quit after PHC and been done with that, then I wouldn't have gotten anywhere. But since I took what I learned from PHC, brought that into Bennett Creative Media, I've learned much more. This business is much better than the one before. And yeah, that's just kind of what I want to reiterate, that you really should just keep striving forward and don't just quit after one time, because it's going to take patience. It's going to take multiple times to actually be successful. So next thing I kind of want to talk about is doing a business. So have any of you in here ever thought about starting your own business or started their own business? No? No one? Okay. Berg, I could teach you something.
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
What business?
Emma.
Okay. So basically, if you have?
Me and Jordan and Nicholas.
What do you do?
Tucker.
Oh yeah.
Clothing line.
What a bus.
What clothing line?
That's separate.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not. It's in the process.
It's in the
Okay.
process. Yeah, we're not. We haven't.
Okay.
It's not serious right now.
You're
Come on, Berg. You're supposed to be supporting these guys.
I do, but some of their ideas.
You're a liar.
They're explicit sweaters.
Mountain Dew chews.
I invented Mountain Dew Chews. They're gummies that taste like Mountain Dew. But Berg doesn't like them.
He's just,
He's a hater.
he just kind of is the devil's advocate for him.
Boss that doesn't run it.
That wasn't me. That was him.
That was me.
On what?
I said no.
We're gonna buy a
I
party
was
bus.
also.
They're gonna make a party bus.
Okay. Well, clothing, if you guys end up starting that, I can tell you some tips and tricks if you want, but
Yeah, tell us.
do you want now?
Yep.
Sure.
What do you want to know?
How do you make them?
Well, okay, yeah, I actually didn't talk about that. Okay, so how I started mine, I was screen printing, which is like literal, just like pushing on the shirt, whatever. I was doing that at North Country Sportswear, but then when I moved to Canada, obviously I couldn't go back and forth, so I moved that to drop shipping. So depending on how hands-on you guys would want to be, drop shipping is literally you design it and put it online, and then when they order, it goes directly from some warehouse in like California or Tennessee or somewhere, and it goes directly to the customer. So then that's super easy for you guys. The margins are smaller, so if you guys are chasing money, then it's probably going to be tough that direction. But yeah, so that's what I did. Make sure you have good quality photos of people wearing your stuff, because I didn't. I just had the generic online ones.
You the other week.
It was so booty. Yeah, so I don't know. Is there anything else you want to know about that?
Anything else you want to know, Jordan?
Okay. Well, you can call me if you think of anything.
All right.
Sorry.
Should we design them right now?
Okay, so kind of want to talk about. Okay, yeah. So passion.
Actually, I have a question.
Yep.
So say I want like a hoodie. See that hoodie right there?
Yep.
And I want to put our logo on it.
How much would it cost?
How much would it cost? Like to put our logo on that hoodie.
Through like if you printed in Minot or went online.
Either one. Like
Oh, Minot probably. Well, the thing is, you'd have to do a bulk of them, a bulk order. So I think when I was there, you had to do like at least 12. So and then I think it was like for a sweatshirt probably like $14 maybe around there. $14.
But then we have to sell it.
Yeah, and then if
Pretty much.
40. Good lord. Don't go 40 until people start buying a lot of them, then bump it up. But
they'll start buying. Once you see them,
if you go online, then it's more. Then it's probably like 19, 20. So
So we're gonna sell them for 21.
And make $1.
Make $1 profit.
not worth your time. But yeah. Anything else, Viggy? About the sweatshirt?
It can be a hype beast clothing line.
Well, like, what'd you design your logos on? Like, what, like, software or anything? Or what?
Berg, you want to answer this one?
Burn!
Most of them were on.
Most of them are on Photoshop in this class.
Really?
I would come in here and just use the Photoshop the school provided because I didn't want to buy it.
Berg, we're gonna do that.
FTV, baby.
You better get designing because there's like, what day is it?
We'll bring Berg in the summer.
Like 10 days left.
We're
isn't
coming
there?
in the summer, I feel.
Okay, so yeah, but I use Photoshop. So kind of want to chat a little bit about passion. Obviously, we talked about this a little bit, but if you're gonna start a business, make sure it's something that you are passionate about, so you want to work on it like all the time. So like video stuff, my mom gets mad at me because I'll sit in my room from like 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. just editing videos and filming videos and just kind of learning what to do and making myself better, right? And she gets pissed at me. So that is more beneficial. If you start your business around a passion or something you love to do, you're going to want to do it more rather than selling. Like me, I was trying to sell $20 clothes, but I wear $5 white t-shirts, so it didn't work. So if you're going to start a business, make sure it's around something you love, and maybe just like before you actually go full-fledged start in there, maybe just like test it out, test the waters. Maybe you're into cooking and you can do some baked goods or something and try to sell those, and if that works, then go that route. But make sure if you guys are starting a business, I would highly recommend that it's a passion or something of that sort, or maybe something you know a lot. That's just my advice. But other than that, networking a little bit. Let's talk about that. One thing that I didn't realize when I was starting a business is that networking is crucial. So you don't realize who knows who, right? So it's kind of the domino effect where if you, I'll use this as an example. I did a free video for the Donaire place. You guys will see the video later. A guy named Doug owned that, he was slow. I think there's something wrong with him. He was. Well, I don't know how he owned a business, like, because he couldn't give me a sentence back. But it was awesome because I did the free video for him for my favorite crepe shop, and once that, I was like, oh, whatever, here's the video. Didn't think anything of it, and then a week went by, and he emailed me, and he said, hey, we're doing a poutine night. So it's the same thing, and it was for a Wednesday night, and he emailed me, and he's like, can you make us another video? And obviously I didn't charge him for the first one. So the second one, I was like, well, I'm not in town. I'm in wherever. I'm in America, greatest country ever. And he's like, oh, so I referred that to someone. But that just goes to show you that, like, if you do something for free, it could come back and get you a job later. The same guy must be business partners with another guy that owns a furniture store, which this guy owns 2 businesses. Just take that into account. I don't know how. But he owns 2 businesses, and he gave my contact information to the furniture guy, and the furniture guy emailed me, and he was like, hey, I saw your video for the crepe shop. Do you want to do a video for us? He's like, what do you charge? So then that just goes to show you, like, everyone knows someone, right? So depending on whether you're putting out good stuff or bad stuff, make sure that you, got a problem there?
No, we're good.
Okay. Depending whether you're putting out good things or bad things, like, obviously make sure they're good when you're putting stuff out, and because you never know who, like, your uncle might share it, and he might be related to some business owner, and that business owner might know a person that's really wealthy that needs a video, in my case a video. So just make sure you're networking a lot. One thing, I was really scared to call, well, this was probably a while back, but I used to be really scared to call people on the phone. I'd get super nervous. Like, I couldn't even order a pizza. I'd make my friends do it. So before I would call important people or someone I'm trying to pitch or cold call, I would call one of my friends first, or someone I knew, or my mom, or a family member, and I would call them to have a short little conversation with them, and then right when I hung up, I'd dial the number of the important person and call them because I was comfortable talking on the phone after that, which sounds pretty cheesy. But I did it, and it worked, and now I'm past that. So just make sure you're networking. I mean, reaching out, just showing people your work and what you do, especially, like, with all the ads on social media. I see all of you guys scrolling on your phone every single day, and I do the same thing. But, like, if everyone's watching there, make sure you're putting your work out there, putting yourself out there for someone to see. Because it only takes that one time for someone to see something, and something clicks, and then your life changes forever, and you've got this job or whatever. But and that doesn't have to apply to business either. Just make sure you're putting yourself out there, making yourself look good. I'll take questions later. Make sure you're putting as much out there as you can, obviously, because the more people see you, the more you're going to get noticed, the better chance you have of someone someone needing your services or your work or your product or something like that. So last thing I want to talk about a little bit is the Business Influencer Festival, which is an event I'm hosting this summer, June 19th. So my idea behind this was, I don't know if you guys know who Gary Vaynerchuk is. Yeah, no, maybe so. Okay, so he was doing a fitness thing like this, and he was hosting at the Miami Dolphins football stadium. So I had an idea that if I could do the same thing with speakers and networking opportunities at the Sleep In Convention Center for business professionals, then it would be a great event for people to go to, right? So Berg told me that I should do 2 days of it, so we added a day, and day one is for kids like your age, so like 17 to 23, that are interested in business or starting a business or learning about business some more. So it's a 1 day event. It's from like 8:30 to 3:30, and there'll be, for you guys, there's 4 speakers, and then there's free lunch, and you get a free headshot. So there's going to be a photographer there, and when you check in, you'll get a free headshot. You can put in your email, and she'll send that off to you, and you'll get your free headshot. And then there is a way to win cash prizes. So if you guys want to win money, you're going to be put in groups, and you're going to have to create a business, blah, 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 just a quick little business, and then you're going to present that to some judges, kind of like Shark Tank style. Berg said it's like DECA, but it's a little bit ramped up, better than DECA. So we're going to do that, and then the winner will present again to the final judges, and the winning team will get some Visa debit cards or gift cards or whatever you want to call them. So that's that. It's only $25 to go to the event, which is pretty cheap, just like going out to eat one time. So $25 to go to the event. It's on a Wednesday, June 19th, I think it is. So hopefully, if you guys are interested in that, you can go check it out. There's some flyers in the back if you want to pick one up before you go. But you can get tickets at businessinfluencerfestival.com and go from there. So if you guys are interested, that is available to you. I'd love to see you guys there. But that's as far as that's all I got to talk about for that event. And that's kind of really just how I started my business. Now, is there any questions? We can do some Q&A here before we show you some actual work.
Jada,
You had a question?
Do you have a question? No.
Jada.
So when you were talking about how like you had to like post on Instagram and like strategically, and like if it's something you're passionate about, you just like keep pushing and stuff. What would you say to someone that was doing that but then got discouraged because people
Like posting?
because people like don't
Well,
like it.
Berg said I can't swear, but I would just say
Or, like what would your advice
to screw that not like screw them. Like
Fuck 'em.
you would get what I'd actually say, but I don't know. Like in the whole grand scheme of things, it's your life. So like, why would you be taking opinions and judgment from someone else? They don't know anything about you or what your situation is or what you're trying to accomplish or what you're trying to do. So why would you take opinions from them or take judgment from them? I would just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, if you have a strategy and a plan, they probably don't know what it is or what you're even doing. So I would just say keep pushing, keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, you have to take some like criticism, not criticism, you have to pull from both ends, like take criticism, but also say F you, right?
Yeah.
So I just say keep going. Obviously, everyone's going to get discouraged. If you play the macro game, so if you just know everything's going to take like patience in the long run. Nothing is an overnight success. So just know that it's going to take some time, obviously, and but day to day you got to be going fast and you got to be working hard and doing your thing. So.
What does your tattoo mean?
It means fourth line because me and 2 other guys on the hockey team last year, we went to the national championship, and we were on the fourth line together all year. So we both, or all 3, got it. 2 on the arm, and then one of the guys got it on his ribs. Do you like it?
I didn't know what 4L means.
Yeah, well now you know. Now you can tell everyone, so.
Kind of looks like a swastika to me.
Yeah, that's probably not good. But, I'm probably gonna have to get another tattoo that says not swastika with an arrow. Anyone else have any questions? Business related, non-business related, random
What was
questions.
the best part about Canada?
Not much, but no offense again to you. I learned out she's from Canada last hour, so I really like their money actually. So they have color-coded money. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like purple, green, blue, and it's really easy to just go in your wallet and like, oh, I need $5. Just grab a blue bill, right? Instead, with what we got, I got to sift through and actually look at the numbers, which is kind of sucks. But
So,
Tens are like yellowish.
in Canada,
No, here.
oh.
Tens are different colors than
Yeah, but it's not like, and their money is like plastic, so you can't rip it.
it's also actually false. You can bite it and
Oh, okay, well I lied. But it is strong.
it is strong.
Yeah, it is.
Strong as in expensive.
Strong
or-
isn't strong.
As in,
As
The
in
money
he's
is
strong
the
enough not
opposite
to
of
rip.
Strong as
Well, like
an ox.
strong, it's a high-powered money.
What are you talking about?
No.
Like you can use it.
Like
I'm gonna
it is
rip it.
strong.
look at it.
how much more expensive is that?
Do you even teach these kids anything?
The
How
value
expensive
is
is the
strong.
alcohol there?
Like,
No, the value is not strong.
strong.
The alcohol is very expensive there. A lot more, like
It's tobacco.
over double. So like a case of beer, 24 cans is like $50. Here it's like 18, I think, or something.
Damn.
I'm only 20, so I don't know.
But in Canada, you can be 18.
Yes. Yes. Everywhere else is probably 19. So.
Question.
Yeah.
You want to live in Bennett your whole life?
No. Well, I don't know. I wanted to live in New York for a couple years, but it's expensive there. So I don't know. I like Minot. It's not bad. Yeah.
Are you gonna live at home your whole life?
No, that's not the
Doesn't your
plan.
friend live in
Maybe though. I like living at home.
Doesn't your friend live in New York?
No, above
Stop
it.
it. It's nice.
Yeah, you walk down the street. Oh, sweet. There's
I've never been
4
there.
rats.
That's cool.
Where? New York?
Yes.
Isn't it way
Hey,
cleaner
Berg,
now?
we gotta get out in 10 minutes.
You have to leave in 10.
Burger
Gotta go in 10
King.
minutes.
5 minutes.
I love that.
Well, that's because
What does the announcement say?
Where at? Where's your
Jordan,
place?
did
Williston.
you get that in the school store?
Oh, it's 2 minutes.